Good evening, good night, bonsoir, buenas noches, buenas noches to investors in North and South America. Ohio, good day, Mr. 안녕하세요, 사바디 차오, 各位早晨. Good morning to investors in Asia. Buenas noches, good night, chai to investors in Europe and Africa. I'm Daniel Yu speaking from Hong Kong. It's 11th December here and 10th December in Wall Street. This week, I have 3 main points to talk about. Number 1, sanction of chips. Number 2, space competition and employment. Number 3, weaker cycle and new moon. Subscribe, like, and share. Remember to click the bell, please. Watch our playlist again so as to grasp the continuous trend of the market and refresh your mind. For sanction of chips on China, Jensen Huang of NVDA had a lot of business with China, which occupies 20% of total business. After the sanction released in October to ban the A800 and X800, NVDA at once announced specially decided a new kind of chips which can avoid the sanction legally and can supply to China. Later on, Gina Raimondo, U.S. Secretary of Commerce, said she would renew the sanction as soon as NVDA launched new chips for China. The bill of sanction is 300 pages, and the U.S. needs to send a representative to Taiwan, Japan, and South Korea to explain the coverage and details. The ban does not just aim at China only, but includes 46 countries, mainly in the Middle East, that are in connection with China, which may transfer the techniques. All components that are using American techniques are not allowed to ship to China. For chips under 40 nm are not allowed to ship and work for China, including wastewater treating and cleaning. Those personnel in charge are not allowed to go to mainland China unless pre-approved. This point actually is good news to TSMC, for they were not afraid of headhunting anymore, which once was a great problem that both South Korea and China had strong action of headhunting. But at length, TSMC established a plant in Arizona and grant engineers green card, which is much more welcome than double pay in other countries. This showed that the US made up their mind to have decoupling with China because of intellectual property and national security, but they found those chips can be used in weapons to fight against the US, such as in Video 31 at 2023-0515. At first, Joe Biden said it is almost impossible to stop the hypersonic missile of Russia, for not only its speed is fast, but the path is irregular also. Sometimes up and sometimes down, sometimes left and sometimes right. But after upgrading the chips of Patriot, the trump card of Russia is no use and can be easily intercepted. So such kind of chips cannot be shipped to other countries. So how does it affect NVDA? Don't worry, Jensen Huang would not be so stupid to supply chips to China again just of commercial profit. He at once flew to Japan to develop a new heaven and earth which is legal and has more free development and making business with Chip 4. Besides US, they are Taiwan, Japan, and South Korea. Surely will be quite promising. Let's take a look at the Golden Dragon Index. While it was forming a head and shoulders in early 2023, Nasdaq Composite formed a reverse head and shoulders. Dramatically, they both were breaking the neckline nearly at the same time. But Golden Dragon went down and Nasdaq went up. In the second half of 2023, both indices formed head and shoulders. Both broke the neckline at the same time, but Golden Dragon cannot rebound above the neckline, and Nasdaq rebounded high above it and challenged record highs. And some of the Magnificent Seven already on record high. It is plain and clear that investors should choose stocks from Nasdaq Composite and give up stocks for Golden Dragon Index. As for space competition, why did it stop for 50 years and resume now? It was because there was no competition in the past, but China is squaring up recently and US wants to domain the space again. In July 1969, the landing of the moon was the greatest project that America ever had. It accelerated the high technology industry and also brought up downstream industry and made unemployment as low as 3.5%. The US became hegemony in the space industry because there was no competitor at it stopped for 50 years. In 2022, the Artemis Project reignites with NASA as the head and 6 more other countries including EU, Japan, Germany, Italy, Israel and Canada. It will use the moon as a base for landing on the Mars also. Since the 1969 Apollo project, technicians all passed away. So now they have to start with the unmanned landing on the moon in 2022, and astronauts will fly by the moon in early 2025, and December 2025 will land on the south pole of the moon. We can see the unemployment in 2022 was as low as the 1969 at 3.5%, and in 2023 even lower and was at 3.4%. The latest unemployment rate on last Friday is 3.7%. The average unemployment rate of the US from 1948 to 2023 is 5.71%. So we can use this as a watershed, and we can see the current level is quite low, and unemployment is keeping in a nice situation. The non-farm payroll rose also from 150K to 199K, which denotes no worry of recession. In order to understand the fundamental factors of the market, please study my electronic handouts thoroughly together with a series of 14 teaching videos with live examples of certain texts specially designed for self-studying, and also philosophical questions to think about as homework. Any sponsor for our seminar, daily report and videos are appreciated with gratitude. Please contact Professor Vidali for details. For the current market situation, I've already said several times to finish buying before October comes. So you can see the head and shoulders of three major indices change to V-shaped rebound in late October. Nasdaq Composite is going to horizontal for 6. NAS Composite is going horizontally for several weeks, waiting to bring upward. But mind that there is a chance of refilling the jumping gap. S&P is in same position, and both jumping gaps are around the 50 SMA, which can be traced as the best buying level. Dow Jones is the strongest among the three major indices, for originally the head and shoulders was clicking upward and now already gone over the head of August, while Nasdaq and S&P still waiting to break the head of August. So we must watch the coming Tuesday. On December 13, three most important central banks of the world will have their rate decision within 24 hours, which are US Federal Reserve, Bank of England, and European Central Bank. It is known as three spirits knocking at the door. Comes from the first three notes of Beethoven Symphony No. 5. The chance of such an event is about 1.5 for year. This time is more important than other times. Announced that the rate high cycle is going to an end. As for interest rate outlook, at first the rate cut was set to be in July, later pumped it up to June, May, and March. But after the employment report, the rate cut date again adjusted to May. The chance of cutting interest rate by 25 basis points on May the 1st is 48.5%. Second rate cut will be of 25 basis points on July 12th is 42.9%. Third cut will be on July 31st of 25 basis points is 36.0%. Fourth rate cut of 25 basis points on November 7 is 32.6%. And the fifth cut will be of 25 basis points will be on December 15th is 30.0%. That is, altogether there are 5 rate cuts, each of 25 basis points in 2024. Since the market has already overbought this week, it's better to just observe and wait for the new moon of December 13 and see what is going to happen, such as Apple is in the psychological barrier of 3 trillion market value, already set the best buy level is $167, and at $193 can take half of the profit. NVDA has risen from 108.13 on October 13, 2022 to 475.06 of last night, which is 430%. How much can it go further up? For those that think it's too risky, can try the AMD or TSM, which are falling behind. We also have to mind after the FOMC meeting, would people sell on good news or wait for 500 of NVDA or 200 of Apple or 400 of Microsoft? So let's wait for full moon of December 27. Santa Claus Wally, Christmas window dressing, and Goldilocks effects. So again, subscribe, like, and share. Sayonara, auf Wiedersehen, adieu, bye bye. See you next week.